What's up, everybody? I want to show y'all a couple of videos. I want to say something about this with Candace Owens. It looks like she's in fear of her life, which, she's very outspoken. I think she's controlled opposition just like Charlie Kirk was controlled opposition, but she's acting like she doesn't want to be controlled anymore. So now when I say controlled opposition, doesn't mean that that person knows they're being controlled, but she's under control. And so this means that they have levers to pressure her to do things. It looks like she doesn't want to be under control. And what they can't control, they move to destroy or kill. So, the thing is, I wanted to do this because it's very important that we understand, just because we believe a thing very strongly doesn't mean that we're not wrong sometimes. And when we are seeing that, when it's shown that we're wrong, it's very important as fast as we can admit that so that we can move on past that. Candace Owens having a problem with the Jewish community. She's been declared the year's biggest anti-Semite or something, which is interesting because somebody else's that she did not like, and a lot of people don't like, has been declared the anti-Semite as well. And it's Minister Farrakhan. And Minister Farrakhan has been dealing with and opposing these same people. But it's very interesting how the media people, other people, want folks to hate the black community. They want people to hate Minister Farrakhan. They want people to hate the Muslims. They want Christians to hate the Muslims. Who does that benefit? Okay? Now, I need y'all to understand that, because there's a lot of Christians out there, a lot of people who believe that they're doing the right thing. You truly believe, and I know that you do good. But if your belief thinks that you're supposed to be part of the Crusades, or you're supposed to be hating Minister Farrakhan or hating Muslims, or somehow that's a threat, that's you're being manipulated. And I just want people to look through, now that she won't do it, but it's just interesting how this is going on. I recommend that she go talk to Minister Farrakhan, but she may not do that. But we'll see what happens. Look at these two videos and let me know what you guys think. Press the thumbs up and make sure. Peace.
And I fundamentally take great issue with a lot of the things that he's done here. We're talking about a man that has frauded the black community over the last 40 years, now taking a platform and telling us that we should be aligning ourselves with Louis Farrakhan, who is a known anti-Semite. And this is the same platform on the left that they tell us that we should be worried about Trump because he's racist, because he's sexist, because he's literally Hitler, their favorite thing to say. And yet they align themselves with somebody who is a known anti-Semite. Just consider that for a second.
Graduation day.
ID Rights, can you please interview Farrakhan? He's in his 90s. I actually don't know anything about Louis Farrakhan because when I got into politics, I was always told you can never speak about or know anything about Louis Farrakhan because he's a raging anti-Semite, and I believed that. I'm going to be honest.
The question is, Candace, do you still believe it? Why don't they want you to talk to Minister Farrakhan? Why don't they want black people, especially the youth, to seriously consider unlearning what Minister Farrakhan has to offer? He survived these people. You might want to talk to him.
I believe that because why would people say that if it wasn't true? And these were people very much on the right. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and be honest about that. That was what I was told.
A few moments later.
I won. I didn't expect it. I played it cool, but it's recently now been announced that it is me. I am the anti-Semite of the year. Yeah. I was named by the watchdog group, appropriately named Stop Anti-Semitism, because apparently Jewish people everywhere are terrified when they wake up and they envision who to be terrified about. It's little old me. Stop Anti-Semitism's founder, which is a woman named Leora Rez, announced that firebrand pundit Candace Owens has been named the Anti-Semite of the Year by the watchdog group stop anti-Semitism. They say that she, quote, blew the competition away with more votes than anyone in previous years. Right there, amazing. It's like so much is going on. If you really got to paint a picture of yourself of who is terrifying the Jewish community, like who is the second coming of Adolf Hitler. It used to be Donald Trump. They're over that. Now he's in the cover of Time magazine. But also Adolf Hitler was once upon a time in the cover of Time magazine. Anyways, the point is now they've realized the field has been cleared by me, Candace Owens, okay? This is the quote that Leora Rez gave. It is exceptional. She said, Candace Owens's witch's brew of anti-Semitism drew from vile medieval blood libels, including claims that Jews drink Christian blood, conspiracies that Jews are pedophiles who control the media and are taking over America, and modern toxic anti-Israel hysteria. There is no psychotic rabbit hole too extreme for this poisonous hater. And I just wonder, like, when people give quotations like that, and then when publications decide to publish quotations like that, are they really in that much of a vacuum? Is this just like a feedback loop, or they don't realize how completely warped and deranged they sound to even put these things on paper? Like, no one believes this. Obviously, nobody believes this. When I got into politics, I was always told you can never speak about or know anything about Louis Farrakhan because he's a raging anti-Semite. And I believed that. I'm going to be honest, I totally believed that. Because why would people say that if it wasn't true? And these were people very much on the right. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and be honest about that. That was what I was.
So that's what she was told. That's what she believed. I mean, really, are we still just believing things? We need to stop this. We can't let these people pick and choose just because they control a lot of media. We still have our own private thoughts. So people need to stop just believing things just because someone told them. Just that's it and that's all. And you're scared to, if it's the truth, you shouldn't find too much in anything different. So let's look at what Minister Farrakhan was going through back in the day.
Spoken extensively about black leadership. What is your assessment of black leadership today?
We have some very brilliant, qualified black men and women who are leading us and could lead us much better if our organizations were more under our control. What has gotten me in trouble is the fact that I recognize that most black politicians, most black leaders, most black organizations, most black business is directly tied to some aspect of Jewish control.
See, that's why they don't like him, and that's why they don't like to be said that they are in control of things.
And if we offend them in any way, then we lose. In the last 10 years, Jews who heavily financed the NAACP and the Urban League have been cutting back on their physical and financial aid to black organizations. The fact that they are not supporting black organizations as they once did meant the demise, the weakening, the fall of those organizations. So the NAACP is not as strong today as it was 10 years ago or 15 years ago. Black organizations and black organizational leaders have to develop some kind of economic strategies that will allow them the freedom to speak up for the hurt of our people.
You see, I like that one because this particular interview, because he's telling you that these people are still in slavery, and the way it's a slick manipulation and a deception, the way they get the leadership class under their control. Now, he was talking about black leadership, black business, black, all of the things dealing with black folks. As we see with somebody with Candace, she does not speak for black people like that. She speaks for Christians and her white people. Okay, but they still got her under control. They got Charlie Kirk under control. They got those folks completely under control. And they don't have anybody that's really trying to push and stick up and break that control. Even their presidents let them get bombed and killed. Trump is under control. So let's listen to this section. And this is why they don't like Minister Farrakhan. And this is why they don't want you to listen to the people they don't like. See, they attack the people that they don't want you to listen to. And if you fall for that because of whatever little disagreement or theological thing that you disagree on, then what you're going to do is you're going to miss everything. And then when you miss these things, then you fall under the same deception of these folks. And just like Candace, if she would have known this stuff, maybe she would have moved differently. You see? So, or she would have understood earlier what truth was. So look at this last clip. And like I said, guys, let me know what you think about this whole series. Peace.
It is because Jews are very sensitive, as we are. And if someone is critical of Jews or critical of some aspect of what they do, the first thing that is used as a defense mechanism is that the person is anti-Semitic. So in my judgment, the Holocaust is used to create sympathy, and the term anti-Semitic is used to stifle criticism. I am critical of certain aspects of Jewish behavior. I make no bones about that. But that does not mean that I hate Jews because I criticize them. Jesus criticized them, but he didn't hate them. The prophets criticized their behavior. It didn't mean that they hated them. But criticism comes to all of us to correct our behavior and put us on a path that will make us more successful. My criticism of Jewish control, of black politicians, black organizations, black business, black thought.
And I just wanted to say, some of you might take issue with him comparing himself to the conversation with Jesus and the Jews in the Bible. When he criticized, Jesus had problems on these same people, literally. Some of these same groups that have literally transferred information since from 2,000 years till today, he had problems with the same group. So we have a right, it's in the Bible for a reason. You have a right to look at that. Oh, just because he's a Muslim, Muslims believe in Jesus. Muslims believe in the Bible. Just have your different interpretation. Regardless of what a lot of you guys have been told or taught, the Muslims believe in the truth of the Bible. All right?
Is a valid criticism, and I intend by the power of Allah to break up Jewish control over black people, period. We are not to be controlled by any other group of people. Otherwise, freedom is a mockery. How come you can talk about Italians or Irish people or Polish people or Greek people when they offend us, and nobody calls us anti-Greek, anti-Italian, anti-Irish? So if we criticize certain aspects of what Jews are doing, then just say he's critical of certain aspects of Jews, but don't say he hates all Jewish people.
Since the beginning of time, there are mistakes that police officers are human beings. There are mistakes that happen, and the idea that now you're going to use this situation and all the usual suspects are already involved, we know that Attorney Crump is already involved, to then try to make Black Americans believe that this happened simply because she was Black.
See, this is the reason why Candace Owens is in trouble. The problem is that she jumps into these talking points wholeheartedly, but these are anti-Black positions that she's taking as a Black-looking woman. Now, her family lineage is from the Caribbean, so they are raised differently, because for generations they had a different experience than Black Americans. And many of them don't take seriously the nuances and the smaller things of racism that Black Americans can pick up. It seems to be like Black Americans can pick these things up a little bit better than people from Caribbean and African nations. So she wholeheartedly jumps into this stuff, and now that her butt's on the frying pan, because she can never be up in there. She's of a different lineage. Okay, she doesn't even understand still. But yeah, there is what there is called a race war. They want to maintain dominance. And here, with this particular case, the sister was in her house. She called the police because she had an episode and she thought someone was breaking in her house. The police comes to her house and sees a boiling pot of water on the stove and tells her, you better either put that pot of water somewhere or whatever, or I'm going to shoot you. The police does this. And basically what ends up happening is she said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And the police shot her, killed her. Candace Owens is running cover for the police, our enemies, right, in this situation. So not all individual police officers are enemies, but I'm saying the system is using police officers to help oppress Black America. So she's not going to get too much grace. So she has to acknowledge these mistakes that she's making. Because right now her butt is on the fire. And it's not because she's defending Black people. It's because she's trying to defend Christian values from she's trying to defend white America from Jewish control in America. That's what she's trying to do.
Candace Owens is afraid for her life at this point. She's taken out an insurance policy for herself of sorts in case anything happens to her that will allow the world to know who it was and why they did it.
Ahead this week and sent around a life insurance policy of sorts, a package rather, to people that I trust, a package filled with text messages, emails, private communications, videos, and private legal documents. So if anything happens to me, you guys will know exactly who it is that has been making my life a living hell over the past couple of years. People that are trying to bankrupt me, trying to bankrupt me and my family, that are threatening us, to sue us. Everything that Kanye said was so real. Okay, I'm now at that point where you look back and you go, man, Kanye was right. He was really saying something about what it takes to leave, to fight for custody of your own soul. Just leave me alone. Let me say what I believe and you say what you believe. Fight fair. Why do you always have to make this threat to bankrupt people? And I want you to know that those people, if anything happens to me, they have my explicit permission to release it all, detonate it all, expose all of these people in politics and in the movement who behave like this behind the scenes. It's necessary. And I highly recommend every single person that is out there, that has a platform and is going through things and scared, do this.
See, the one thing about Candace is she's scared. She's scared. And she's doing what she can do. She's going to give her life to get information and expose these people. But the thing is, they got talking heads just like yourself to explain away your death, just like you did for other people who died. That's what they pay you for, to manipulate the public's opinion. And so, you exposing these people will just make themselves targets. And, will they expose it all? I mean, you trust them, but you really need to talk to people who actually have dealt with these people and know how to win. And Kanye talked to Minister Farrakhan. And guess what? Kanye actually took on these people. He lost something that he probably never really had, but he actually kept his money. He's still wealthy and rich, and he's able to take care of business. He has land. He talks to Minister Farrakhan. I think you need to do the same, sis. So that's it, guys. Peace.